Hello, everyone. Today I have a wonderful story for you. It's not just for listening practice, but also to inspire you. The story is called Nothing is Free. It teaches that hard work and determination can change lives. There was a young man named Leo, 20 years old, who lived in a small, quiet town surrounded by mountains. Leo had big dreams. He wanted to own a chain of restaurants and become a successful businessman. But life was not easy. His family was poor. His father, Mark, worked as a mechanic, and his mother, Claire, cleaned houses to earn money. Leo also had a younger sister named Sophie, who was only 10 years old and looked up to him as her hero. One cold evening, Leo sat outside his small house, looking at the stars. He whispered to himself, "I want to give my family a better life, but how can I start when we barely have enough to survive?" The next day, Leo shared his dreams with his father. Mark sighed and said, "Leo, dreams are not free. If you want something, you must fight for it. Start with what you have, even if it's small." Leo thought about his father's words and suddenly got an idea. He noticed that people in his town loved fresh bread, but had to travel far to buy it. So he decided to sell fresh bread locally. But there was a problem. Leo had no money to buy bread. He decided to take a chance and went to see Mr. Anderson, the bakery owner. Mr. Anderson was an old man who didn't trust people easily. Leo walked a long distance to meet him and said confidently, "Mr. Anderson, I want to sell your bread in my town, but I don't have money to buy it right now. Can you trust me for 1 week? I will sell the bread, return your money, and keep a small amount for myself." Mr. Anderson raised an eyebrow and asked, "Why should I trust you, young man?" Leo replied with confidence, "Because I am determined, and I will work hard to prove myself." After thinking for a moment, Mr. Anderson said, "All right, I'll give you bread for 1 week, but if you fail to pay me back, don't come here again." Leo was overjoyed. Early the next morning, he carried the bread back to his town and set up a small stand near the park. He greeted people with a smile and said, "Fresh bread, warm and delicious." At first, people were unsure if his bread was good, but Leo offered free samples. Soon he made his first sale. By the end of the day, he had sold all the bread and made a small profit. That evening, he went back to Mr. Anderson and paid him in full. The old man nodded and said, "You kept your word. Come back tomorrow." From then on, Leo worked very hard. He woke up at 4 a.m., walked to the bakery, carried bread to his town, and sold it passionately. After 2 months, he saved enough money to buy a small cart, which made it easier to carry more bread. One day, a customer suggested, "Leo, why don't you bake your own bread? You're great at selling, but if you bake, you'll earn more profit." The idea excited Leo, but also scared him because he had never baked before. He realized that nothing in life is free. Not success, not knowledge, not growth. If he wanted to succeed, he had to take risks and learn. Leo couldn't stop thinking about baking his own bread. If he learned, he wouldn't have to depend on Mr. Anderson, and his profits would increase. But there was one big problem. He didn't know how to bake. So, the next morning, after paying Mr. Anderson, Leo asked, "Mr. Anderson, can you teach me how to bake?" The old man frowned and said, "Why should I teach you? If you bake, you won't buy from me anymore. That's bad for my business." Leo looked at him and replied, "You're right, but I will never forget the man who helped me start." Leo looked at Mr. Anderson and said, "If I succeed, I'll make sure to help your bakery too. You gave me my first chance." Mr. Anderson thought for a while and finally said, "All right, but baking isn't easy. It takes time, patience, and hard work. If you're ready, I'll teach you. The next morning, before sunrise, Leo arrived at the bakery at 3 a.m. Mr. Anderson showed him how to mix flour, knead the dough, and bake it perfectly. At first, Leo struggled. His hands hurt from kneading, and the bread came out too hard or too soft. One day, after ruining another batch, he felt hopeless and thought, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should quit. But then he remembered his father's words. Dreams are not free. He realized that every mistake was part of learning, and giving up was not an option. The next day, Leo returned to the bakery with even more determination. He practiced carefully, and little by little, his bread improved. After 2 weeks, Mr. Anderson handed him a loaf and said, "This is perfect, Leo. You're ready." Leo was thrilled. He rented a small oven and began baking at home. His family was proud. His sister Sophie helped pack the bread, and his mother made tea while he worked late into the night. Soon, Leo wasn't just selling bread. He started making cookies and pastries too. People loved his products and said, "Leo's bread is the best we've ever had." But success didn't come easy. One day, a new bakery opened in town, owned by a young man named Eric. Eric's bakery was big, colorful, and fancy, and people started buying from him instead. Leo noticed his sales dropping and felt worried, but instead of giving up, he decided to improve. He asked his customers what they liked about Eric's bakery and how he could do better. Some said Eric's shop looked clean and beautiful. Others said his cakes had nice designs. Leo realized he needed to grow, not just as a baker, but as a businessman. Using his savings, he painted his cart, added decorations, and gave out free samples of his new pastries. He even learned cake decorating by watching videos at the library. Slowly, his customers started coming back. One evening, an old woman told Leo, "I've seen many young men give up when life gets hard, but you didn't. That's why we trust you." Leo felt proud after hearing the old woman's words. Months passed, and his business continued to grow. He saved enough money to rent a small shop. It wasn't as big as Eric's, but it was warm and welcoming. He named it Leo's Fresh Bakes. Every morning, he woke up before sunrise, baked fresh bread, and opened his shop with a smile. His parents and sister helped him. Sophie, now 11, loved talking to customers, and his mother, Claire, managed the accounts. But Leo knew this was just the beginning. He wanted to reach more people, make his family proud, and prove that anything is possible through hard work. Soon, Leo's Fresh Bakes became the heart of the town. People loved his bread, cakes, and pastries. His business grew, and his family was proud. But life had another test for him. One stormy night, as Leo was closing the shop, he saw smoke coming from inside. He ran in and found a small fire near the oven. He quickly grabbed water and managed to stop the flames, but much of his equipment was damaged. The next morning, when the townspeople heard about the fire, they came to see him. Some worried about what he would do next, while others whispered that this might be the end. Leo felt heartbroken but refused to give up. Standing outside his bakery, he said, "This is just another challenge. I've faced struggles before, and I'll face this one too." He took a deep breath and made a plan. After checking his savings, he realized it wasn't enough to replace all the equipment. Fear tried to take over, but Leo remembered his journey, how he started with nothing but a dream and hard work. Instead of losing hope, he decided to seek help. He went to Mr. Anderson, who had retired, and said, "Sir, what would you do if you were me?" Mr. Anderson smiled and said, "Leo, you already know the answer. Nothing is free. Keep working hard, believe in yourself, and others will believe in you too." Inspired, Leo began rebuilding. He used the small equipment he still had and started baking at home again. He told his customers, "I won't let you down. I'll keep serving you, even if it's just a small amount for now." The townspeople admired his courage. Many came forward to help. Some gave ingredients, others donated money, and a few even helped clean and repair the bakery. Leo learned something valuable. When you work hard and never give up, people notice and want to help you. After months of effort, he finally reopened his bakery. Stronger than ever, Leo's bakery reopened, and it was better than ever. He painted the walls, added bright decorations, and introduced new treats like cupcakes and muffins. His customers were thrilled. On the day of the grand reopening, the town's mayor came and said, "Leo, you are a true inspiration. You've shown us that with determination, anything is possible." Leo stood before the crowd and said, "I want to thank all of you. You've taught me that nothing in life is free. Not success, not respect, not love. Everything must be earned through hard work, patience, and persistence. Never let failure stop you, because every challenge is a step towards something greater." From that day on, Leo's bakery became more than just a shop. It became a symbol of hope. People from other towns visited to meet the young man who never gave up. Leo's story teaches us 4 important lessons. First, dreams are not free. They need hard work and sacrifice. Second, failure is not the end. It's a chance to learn and grow stronger. Third, help yourself first. When people see your effort, they will support you. And fourth, never give up. The darkest times often come right before success. Leo didn't just build a bakery. He built a life full of purpose, respect, and pride. And so can you. Whatever your dream is, don't stop chasing it. Remember, nothing is free, but everything is possible